She parked a few spaces away and waited for him to enter before making her move. Approaching the front desk, she feigned excitement. "Oh, the man we just checked in. I want to surprise him. Can I get a room near his?" The receptionist, charmed by a smile, handed her a key to the room next to Christopher's without hesitation. Gift's heart pounded in her chest as she ascended the stairs, her hands trembling. She waited a few minutes, listening carefully for any movement from the adjoining room. Then, taking a deep breath, she turned the knob. To her surprise, the door wasn't locked. Gift barged in, ready to confront her husband, but what she saw shook her to her core. This rich woman caught her husband cheating at a hotel. Gift, known to many as Wedding Gift due to her mastery in creating breathtaking wedding gowns, had carved a name for herself as a bespoke fashion designer. Her talent wasn't just limited to Lagos. Her creations attracted brides from all over the world. Her rise to prominence had been swift, with every intricate stitch contributing to her success. She could charge what she liked and people paid, eager to wear a piece of her magic on their special day. Life seemed perfect. Her career was thriving. Her wedding 6 months ago had been a fairy tale come to life. And her husband, Christopher, a talented software engineer working remotely for international clients, was the doting partner every woman dreamed of. Their wedding was the stuff of legend, attended by dignitaries, celebrities, and the elites of society. Yet, beneath the surface of their union, cracks had begun to form. Christopher had always wanted children. He made that clear from the start of their relationship. But Gift, with her career soaring to new heights, felt that a child would hinder her progress. She couldn't bear the thoughts of pausing a thriving business for motherhood. Not yet. Although Christopher understood her ambition, the tension between them on this matter simmered quietly. Their spacious home, adorned with luxurious fabrics and a stylish aesthetic, designed of course by Gift herself, felt increasingly hollow. They had hired Chidinma, a beautiful young woman, as their living maid. Chidinma, with a radiant smile and soft-spoken nature, quickly became part of the household. Gift, too absorbed in her work, paid little attention to the growing rapport between her husband and the maid. It started innocently enough. Christopher would tease Chidinma in the kitchen, playfully tossing jests at her as she cooked or cleaned. The laughter echoed through the house, but Gift, often glued to her designs, brushed it off. They had just been friendly, she told herself, dismissing any rising doubts. As weeks passed, their playful banter turned into more prolonged conversations. They would chat in the garden, laugh over private jokes, and share lingering glances. At first, it didn't bother Gift. Christopher's just friendly, she thought, focusing on her looming deadlines, but slowly, unease began creeping into her heart, the seed of doubt growing with each passing day. The dynamic shifted drastically when Gift's mother, Mrs. Ade, arrived unannounced, announcing that she intended to stay with them for an extended period. Her presence added another layer of tension in the house, especially for Christopher and Chidinma. Mrs. Ade, an observant woman, soon began picking up on subtle interactions between her son-in-law and the housemaid. Their lingering glances, the occasional late-night whispers, it was all too suspicious. "Gift, my dear," her mother began one evening as they sat on the porch, the humid Lagos night pressing in around them. Are you sure everything is alright with Christopher and that maid of yours? Gift frowned. What do you mean, Mama? I don't want to cause trouble, Mrs. Ade said gently. But I've noticed some things. Late at night, I hear voices. Christopher and Chidinma talking in the kitchen. It's as if they are waiting for you to fall asleep. Gift felt a knot form in her stomach. You have been paranoid. She tried to dismiss the thoughts, but deep down, her mother's words had struck a chord. That night, after everyone had gone to bed, Gift lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The silence of the house was deafening, but soon she heard it, a soft murmur of voices coming from downstairs. Quietly slipping out of bed, she tiptoed towards the kitchen. Peeking around the corner, she saw Christopher and Chidinma seated at the kitchen table, talking in hushed tones. They were laughing, oblivious to her presence. The intimacy in their interaction was undeniable. Her breath caught in her throat, and for the first time, Gift began to fear the worst. She retreated to her bedroom, her heart racing, but even though the evidence of emotional infidelity was right in front of her, she couldn't bring herself to confront them. At least not yet. Yinka, Gift's best friend, was a different breed altogether. The quintessential Lagos bachelor. Yinka was the life of every party and a notorious playboy. His charms was as effortless as it was dangerous, and women flocked to him like moths to a flame. Despite his roguish ways, Yinka and Gift had always been close. Their bond, one of pure friendship. At least that's what Gift believed. Christopher had always been cool with their friendship, never once showing jealousy or concern. But that changed one fateful evening. If you have enjoyed the story so far, remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel. This goes a long way in helping us bring you more beautiful stories like this one. Thank you. Yinka had stopped by the house to visit Gift, and they both returned from an outing together, laughing and reminiscing about the old times. As they entered the living room, Christopher noticed something. Yinka's attention wasn't on Gift, it was on Chidinma. He was flirting with her, throwing charming smiles her way, and Chidinma, in return, seemed flattered. Yinka, can I have a word with you? Christopher's voice cut through the room, his tone cold and serious. Yinka smirked, assuming it was some light-hearted banter. What's up, Chris? Christopher's face darkened. I don't want you flirting with Chidinma. She's not one of your conquests. Yinka laughed, but Christopher's expression remained hard. I'm serious. She's my friend, and I don't want her getting hot. Gift, who had been watching from the side, was stunned. Why was Christopher so protective of their housemaid? The way he defended her so fiercely made Gift's skin crawl with suspicion. That night, Gift lay awake, haunted by Christopher's behavior. She replayed every interaction between him and Chidinma in her mind. The playful banter, the late night chats, the way he had rushed to her defense earlier. Was it possible that something was happening between them? The thought gnawed at her, eating away at the trust she had in her marriage. One morning, after yet another restless night, Gift confided in her mother. Mama, have you noticed anything strange between Christopher and Chidinma? She asked. Her mother hesitated. To be honest, I have, but I've never caught them doing anything inappropriate. Gift sighed, feeling the weight of the situation pressing down on her. I think something is going on, but I can't prove it. You will have to find out the truth soon enough, her mother replied, her eyes sharp with suspicion. Just keep watching. The turning point came one rainy afternoon when Christopher's phone buzzed with a message. It was a number Gift didn't recognize. Curiosity piqued. She glanced at the screen. I miss you so much. I miss your love and touch. Meet me at our usual spot by 6 p.m. today. Gift's heart stopped. The words were like a knife to her chest, confirming her worst fears. Christopher was cheating, but who was the other woman? Was it Chidima? She needed to know. That evening, she pretended to have business meeting and left the house. But instead of going far, she parked her car around the corner, hiding behind a tree with a clear view of their driveway. Her heart raced as she watched Christopher leave the house, dressed smartly, clearly headed for his illicit rendezvous. Tailing him at a safe distance, Gift followed Christopher to an upscale hotel. She parked a few spaces away and waited for him to enter before making her move. Approaching the front desk, she feigned excitement. Oh, the man we just checked in. I want to surprise him. Can I get a room near his? The receptionist, charmed by a smile, handed her a key to the room next to Christopher's without hesitation. Gift's heart pounded in her chest as she ascended the stairs, her hands trembling. She waited a few minutes, listening carefully for any movement from the adjoining room. Then, taking a deep breath, she turned the knob. To her surprise, the door wasn't locked. Gift barged in, ready to confront her husband, but what she saw shook her to her core. There on the bed was Christopher, naked, with a woman straddling him. They were so lost in their passion that they didn't even hear Gift's entrance. Gift's scream pierced the room, and the two lovers scrambled for their clothes. But as the woman turned around, Gift's world shattered into a million pieces. It was her mother. Gift stood frozen, her mind reeling, trying to make sense of what she was seeing. Her mother, the woman who had raised her, the woman she trusted, was here with her husband, betraying her in the worst possible way. You, Mama? Gift's voice broke, tears streamed down her face. Her mother, panic in her eyes, stammered, I am sorry. Please, Gift, let me explain. But before she could finish, another door in the room opened. Yinka, naked, stepped out of the bathroom, towel slung over his shoulder. What's with all this screaming? He asked casually before freezing when he saw Gift standing there. The truth hit Gift like a tidal wave. Her husband, her mother, and her best friend betraying her together. I'm sorry, Gift, Yinka begged. Gift stood frozen, overwhelmed by a flood of betrayal. Her mind raced, struggling to process the horrifying reality before her. Her mother, her best friend, and her husband, all intertwined in an unspeakable affair. Yinka, towel in hand, stammered, Gift, I can explain. But Gift had heard enough. Her world, once filled with love and trust, had crumbled in a way she never imagined. The pain was indescribable, and the rage that followed burned deep within her. Her body trembled as the weight of their collective betrayal sank in. Her mother rushed towards her, tears already brimming in her eyes. Please, Gift, I made a terrible mistake, I'm sorry. But the words felt empty. This was beyond forgiveness. Gift looked at her mother in the eye and said, You, of all people, you were supposed to protect me, guide me, and this is what you've done? Her voice quivered with emotion, her tears falling freely. "I can't believe you." Her mother fell silent, shame hanging heavy in the air. Christopher, still struggling to get dressed, tried to approach her. "Gift, let's talk about this," he started, reaching for her hand. "It's not what you think." "Not what I think?" Gift cut him off, her voice sharp. "I saw you with my mother." She stepped back, avoiding his touch. "You disgust me." Yinka stood awkwardly, clearly uncomfortable, but the guilt was plastered across his face. His usual cocky demeanor had evaporated, leaving only a pale, panicked shell of a man. "I'm sorry, Gift," he finally said, his voice low. "I never meant for this to happen." "You are sorry?" Gift spat, her voice rising. "You were my friend, Yinka. You knew everything about me, and this is how you repay me?" Yinka dropped his head, unable to meet her gaze. Gift couldn't stand it anymore. The weight of their lies, the emotional turmoil, it was too much. Without another word, she turned on her heel and stormed out of the hotel room. Her chest felt tight, her breaths shallow as she hurried down the hallway. The image of her mother, Yinka, and Christopher together was seared in her mind, but she couldn't deal with it, not now. As she reached the car, her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was Chidinma. "Madam, are you okay?" The maid's voice sounded concerned. "Where are you?" Gift wiped the tears from her cheeks, taking a deep breath before responding. "Chidinma, I need you to pack some things for me. I'm coming home, but I can't stay in that house, not anymore." Chidinma's voice softened. "Of course, madam. I'll be ready when you get here." The drive back to her home was a blur. Her thoughts bounced between disbelief, anger, and sadness. How had her life taken such a twisted turn in just one evening? Everything she thought she knew had been a lie. Her mother, the woman she idolized, Yinka, her best friend since childhood, and Christopher, the man she thought she would spend the rest of her life with. When she arrived at the house, Chidinma was waiting at the door, a small suitcase already packed for her. Gift stepped out of the car, her face a mixture of heartbreak and determination. "Madam, what happened?" Chidinma asked, cautiously, her concern palpable. Gift's voice was quiet but firm. "I found out everything. It wasn't you. I thought it was, but I was wrong." Her voice hung in the air, and the housemaid nodded silently, as if understanding the depths of what had transpired. Chidinma gently guided Gift inside and sat with her, offering her a glass of water. "I'm sorry you had to go through that, madam." Gift looked at her, tears threatening to fall again. "I'm sorry too, Chidinma. I treated you like an enemy when you were innocent. You were just caught in the middle of all this." Chidinma placed a hand on hers. "It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. Sometimes things aren't what they seem." They sat in silence for a while, the weight of the situation settling between them. Eventually, Gift broke the stillness. "I can't stay here. I can't look at this house, these rooms, knowing what they did to me." Chidinma nodded, her voice soft. "Then let's leave. You and I, we can go somewhere else." Gift looked at her maid with gratitude. She had been so consumed by her suspicions that she had overlooked Chidinma's loyalty. And now, in a time of greatest need, it was Chidinma who was standing by her side. Over the next few weeks, Gift moved out of her marital home, taking Chidinma with her. She filed for divorce from Christopher, cutting all ties with him and Yinka. The betrayal was too deep, too damaging to ever consider reconciliation. Gift's heart was shattered, but as the days passed, she began to rebuild herself. The pain didn't disappear, but it became a fuel for her growth. She poured herself into her business, expanding her bespoke wedding dress brand beyond Nigeria. She traveled, hosted fashion shows, and opened new boutiques, using her pain as motivation to rise above the darkness. Chidinma became more than a maid. She became a trusted friend, someone who stood by her through the turmoil. They built a new life together, far removed from the betrayal that had once threatened to destroy Gift's spirits. And as for Gift's mother, Yinka and Christopher, they faded into the background, relics of a painful past that Gift no longer allowed to control her. She never spoke to her mother again. Yinka vanished from her life, and Christopher tried to reach out a few times, but Gift had made a peace. The lesson, though painful, had shaped her into a stronger, more self-assured woman. She had learned that betrayal can come from the most unexpected places, and that trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to mend. But more importantly, she had learned the value of forgiveness, not for others, but for herself. She forgave herself for trusting the wrong people, for letting her guard down, and for believing in a perfect life that was never real. Gift would never be the same, but in the end, she emerged from the ashes more powerful than ever. The end. We hope you enjoyed the story you just watched. Please subscribe to our channel and like this video, as it helps us create more videos like this for you to enjoy. Thank you.